Let's back to chest and calves. I'm gonna start off with this calf raise as usual, and then we'll get to the fun shit. You can do seated or standing, or you could do both. I don't think it matters too much, as long as you get a good feel on it and do some hard sets on it. I think you'll be alright. I took one day off since I did legs, so feel good, slept good. 3 days into my diet now. I haven't been tracking my weight, but I do definitely feel tighter in the midsection for sure. And I'm sure I'm a couple pounds down. But once I get lighter, I'll probably end up tracking my weight more. But for now, just reducing my food intake is all that is needed. I'm trying to destroy my calves in one set pretty much, and it seems to be working, so I keep doing it. Powerful contractions. That hurt. Damn, that hurt. As many full as you can do, and then just kind of bang them out. It definitely might feel like your calf might completely rip off, but it probably won't happen. So until then, keep doing it. I've been really liking that incline press for dumbbells. So we'll see if I can get 11 with the 75s. Did 10 last week. So let's just go over there and see how that goes. I like to have an idea of what I'm gonna do. So I already know I'm doing 30s, 50s, 65s, then 75s for hopefully 11. And the reps are gonna get less and less as I move up. So by the time I get to 65s, I'm gonna do probably 1. So I did like 8 of them, 10 of them, whatever. And then I'm putting them back on my legs, but I didn't feel like I was ready yet. So sometimes I'll do like 2 sets in one, where I'll kick it back again, and I'll do just like 1 more, just to make sure it feels right. So you can do the same weight twice if you feel like you need to. Or if you train like early in the morning, I think doing a set of 30s, whatever, do like 5 of them, come back down, give it like 10 seconds, do it again. Guarantee you the second set will feel better. So I don't know how it feels yet. Sometimes it feels not good. And then you get to your top set and you do like the most you've ever done. So I'm gonna stay positive until I don't get 11. But the goal is still to get 11. Yeah, so that made me feel a lot confident, or a lot more confident. I can feel it now, it's good. That was rough. I don't even know what that scream was. It was heavy. It was light. I don't know what the fuck it was. And do the 65s now. That was 75 for, I don't even know. I'm hoping that was 11. It felt like it was good, powerful contractions, so chest pumped. That's what was needed. I think I might have potentially moved those reps faster than I did last time, just to try and get to like a certain rep. So I think this next set, I'm gonna try and slow it down a little bit, just to make sure I'm feeling all the fibers opening and then closing. So like I talked about in my last video, I'm trying to get my shoulders to actually go in. So at the bottom here, I'm almost trying to get these shoulders wider, even though they're not gonna move, obviously. And then when I initiate the press, I'm keeping my chest high, pushing my chin back, and I'm bringing my shoulders and elbows towards each other to get this contraction to go. And it's kind of like a ripple effect. So I kind of feel like a stretch out into here, into deep armpit, and then it's pulling. Then I feel this peak pressure here at the top. Feeling heavy. I'm done with chest. We'll move on to shoulders now. So, as I get leaner, that'll start to look a lot better. Right now I feel like I'm pretty much fat. Just gonna do one warm up, just one rep to kind of feel it out. Oh yeah. I don't think it's a diet that's already hitting, but I think only taking one day off the last couple weeks after legs has been building up some fatigue, and I feel like I was feeling it, especially on the dumbbell press. I was feeling that like the dumbbells were like a little bit overpowering me a little bit, and I didn't feel super strong when I was pressing it, which is weird because I did the most I've done, at least I think. So it's like a mental game. When you're dieting, eating less calories, you can mess with your head, and you can't go away from the stuff that you were doing when you built the muscle. So, I mean, maybe you're not getting as much of a pump anymore once your calories are low enough, but it doesn't mean you should do more sets to try and chase the pump, because then you have more to try and recover from, but you have less food. So it's like a double whammy, and then you end up being super fatigued, and you actually get weak because it's not as glycogen filled and pushing against the skin when you're eating a lot of food. If you do a couple sets for the day and you've PR'd or whatever, and on a lot of them, or like if you felt super strong on it and got a big pump, you're okay with leaving the gym, you know? But when you don't get a huge pump, then you want to do more sets. It's just not the way to go. I don't think you should be adding sets when you have less food in your system, and your sleep might not be as good. So stick with the things that you've done when you were building the muscle. What my body weight is, but as the weeks go on, I'll start to tighten up here. Here, chest will get a little bit more striated. Hamstrings, glutes, quads will be more visible. Calves, forearms will be more vascular. Biceps too. Everything will get more leaner. Little cuts in the shoulders. Face will thin out. Clavicle showing. Traps more sculpted. Upper back definitely will be more stripped of body fat, which is where I tend to hold a lot of my body fat. Back, glutes, hamstrings. That's like the main places I hold my body fat, and midsection, just like every guy pretty much. It's just what it is. On to this push down, and we'll see what's up here. I did as many as I can, and then I knew I didn't have another one to go. So I went up about like right there, and then I pushed as hard as I could, and it literally didn't move. So at that point, I just kind of rode with it, and just as it was coming up, I was fighting for my life to try and get back down, but I couldn't. It just ripped me back up. Positive, negative failure. That's all you can ask for, really. So pump's good right now. Let's see here. It's the last set on here, so just gonna do as many as I can. Partials too. Oh. I was looking back at the other video that I took when I was doing these, and I wasn't even fucking straight on the bench. And I thought about that, like at the end. So I tried to maneuver myself. I don't even know. I have no idea if I even maneuvered myself in the right direction. But I was kind of sideways last time, like diagonal. Probably because I'm a lefty. And my left arm is a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. But those felt good. I went more behind my head this time. And I felt like I was able to get a better stretch. And I didn't lose that connection to my tricep. I don't want to go too far because then I feel like I'm just doing like a lat exercise, like a pullover. I don't really do the pullover. The pullover machine, I definitely do. We don't have one here, but that thing is gnarly, man. That thing is great. I use it at ProFit sometimes when I go over there, but ProFit is like traffic, 50 minutes. It's a once in a while thing. I had a membership there, but I canceled it because it was too far for me, or more than what I wanted to do. So, but this place is good, man. Private place. It's just me and my dad running this place. It's a personal training studio or facility, whatever you'd like to call that. One-on-ones and groups of up to 4, possibly 5 people, but 4 is the sweet spot for the size of this place. So that's triceps. That's chest, shoulders, triceps done. I'm gonna move on to just one more thing. I'm gonna do the anterior tibialis thing on this bench here. I think I've probably peed 4 times in this whole workout, which is terrible. I do this thing where I like overhydrate for my workouts because I'm terrified of being dehydrated, because I know, I don't want to be weaker. And but I overhydrate. It's just my extreme personality. And I tighten things too much to the point where I can't even fucking open the thing. It's terrible. Hold it. You're gonna put it in the tips of your toes there. The front of it. You're gonna come to the edge on your heels, and you're just gonna move up and down with the weight. So you're training the front of your calf, anterior tibialis. There are some machines that do this. I know Hammer Strength makes one, but you can easily just step onto a ledge with a dumbbell, just like this. Maybe even try no weight. It's a weak muscle. It's hard to get fatigued. So just bang out as many as you can here. All the way to the top until you can't, and then partials. Oh. Oh. It's a unique feeling. And after, you should not be able to walk correctly because you can't lift up your toes. You feel like they're like hitting the ground when you walk. I'm gonna do a little bit of stretching now. So, after you train the muscle group, you could stretch it after. Don't stretch it before. You want to statically stretch it after. Or, you don't have to, but I think there's benefit to doing it after and keeping your flexibility so you don't end up being too tight and then having to get yourself out of a hole. At least here you can just maintain the flexibility. So all I'm doing right now is I'm putting my arm up on an angle here, because the fibers run up at this angle when your hand is here. You don't want to be too low. You want to be right up at an angle. So all these fibers are now being pulled up in the same angle as my arm. And I'm going to turn my feet that way. Then I'm going to look this way too. And my hand is just on my chest, just to kind of feel the pull and the skin tightening. It's just something I do. It feels like it's like mentally cueing me and making sure I still feel it in my chest and I don't loosen up. I feel like a 7 out of 10 stretch right now. So I don't want to go 10 out of 10 because then I can't hold it for a very long time. You want to be at a good stretch and hold it for a long period of time. And then once your hand starts going numb, it's probably a good time to start counting to see how long you can hold it for. So like right now my hand's going numb a little bit. I could bend my arm, but I want to get some bicep stretching as well and forearm. And I just think my circulation is being cut off a little bit, which I'm okay with. It'll just come back right away once I'm done with the stretch. I'm going to do both sides just one time, just to keep the flexibility. And then I don't know, maybe we'll do another stretch too. We'll see. I usually don't stretch after the workout at the gym, but I'm kind of feeling it right now and I haven't done it in a while. So I know it's important. So that's good for that side. Oh, my hand, man. It's like, feels like electric is running through my hand. Low-key feels good. I don't know if that's a weird thing or not, but whatever. I'm gonna switch to this arm now. And I'm gonna look to my left. I'm gonna point my feet to the left. And this is my right arm up at an angle. Again, I'm gonna feel my left hand on my right side of my chest. And I'm gonna look to the left. So my left side right now is all stretched out. Now I'm gonna open up this side. So I guess in my head, the muscle is super tight from the training, and if you don't stretch it out enough, then it's gonna start to get tighter and tighter. And I don't think that's the best way to even grow a muscle. I think the muscle should be open and you shouldn't be constricted. The muscle's not gonna function properly. You're not gonna be able to get as much of a stretch, and the stretch of the muscle is a huge component, at least I think. There's plenty of people that do partials and are pretty muscular, but I mean, I feel like the idea would be to try and torture the muscle, and in the stretch position, it doesn't feel too good. It feels like it hurts. It's like tearing the muscle open, you know? So I think the stretch is important. Nothing crazy. I don't think an extreme stretch is needed or necessary, but I mean, if that's your thing, extreme stretch and like an extreme shortening, well, then I guess go ahead if you're making progress. It's fine. But I think I like to do like a 85 to 90% range of motion. So on those pressing, I wasn't going fully locked out, especially in the last one. I'm kind of just getting like a peak chest contraction with my arms slightly bent. And then I just tried to hold it on the way down. And I was telling myself that this is like the last negative. So muscle's super fatigued. I was like, oh, I got one more ounce of juice to just drip out of it on the negative. That's what's going through my head on that. So I'm gonna hold this for a little bit longer, and then maybe that'll be it for this stretch. Oh, all right. Hands tingling, just coming back now. I'm gonna go eat some protein bars now and then talk a little bit on the couch. So there's gonna be certain days where you come into the gym, or even before the gym, and you don't know if you should take a rest day or if you should just do a little bit lighter reps and higher reps, since that seems to be like not as super fatiguing, like mentally. Physically, it might do the same thing, but mentally, it's not as grueling to like be like, oh my God, I gotta do this for like 6 reps or 8 reps. I mean, it's heavy. So you're gonna have to play it by ear about how you feel and track your previous weeks of what you've been doing and how those lifts have been doing. You might come into the gym anyway and just go to the gym anyway because that's what you want to do. And for example, today, if I didn't come to the gym, I could have easily came because I did the same weights that I've always done, or at least the last couple weeks. So, I mean, I might have been even stronger, potentially. I'm not fully sure because I don't track it. I just know if I annihilate it in that one set, then it's going to stimulate the muscle. I don't think overcomplicating it, being like, oh my God, I got 9 reps last week, and I only got 9 again this week, and I get 10. Because that 9 could have been better. I mean, if it's just like 2% better execution, or you went a little bit deeper on the last rep, then that means, you know, you're stronger. Technically, you had more muscle. So
you got to think about it with a couple things in mind, you know? It's not just, oh, I don't feel good today. You got to go back in time and think, okay, other times that I didn't feel good, I still went to the gym and I was totally fine. So if you go to the gym and you're weaker, then you might have to rethink it, and maybe you're doing too much in the gym, you're training too often, or you're doing those two things too much for the deficit that you're in. Maybe when you're in a surplus, you're able to do chest however often or however many sets to failure. But then once you drop back some sets, you might feel better. You might find that you're actually like gaining some strength because you're finally recovering. The training is only one part of it. So, like as Mike Mentzer says, the training is only 50% of the whole process. You have to recover and grow on the next 50%. This is just the stimulus. You're breaking down muscle tissue in here. You're getting weaker. Like right now, I'm weaker. And then a week from now, I'll be stronger with this, these exercises. But I've just annihilated myself on the exercises that I just did. So train hard, go to failure, close to failure, and then go home, chill, just eat, relax, and play it by ear when you want to train again. If you're supposed to train back the next day, but you're super fatigued, then maybe just chill out and then train back the next day. Or go to the gym anyway. And then if you train like shit, then you know next time. If you train fine, then you know next time that, just go to the gym anyway. You'll probably be all right. So there's a lot of variables, but I think the more experience you get, you'll be able to figure out when you're just being a little wuss and when you are actually fatigued. So depends how many years you've been training for. At least that's what I think. And if you've only been training for a year, then you might not be able to figure out the difference. But if you've been training for 5 to 10 years, you could probably figure out when you should take a day off or when you're just being a little, too concerned with your recovery, or you didn't sleep perfect that day. So your motivation isn't like through the roof, but you probably should go to the gym still. You'll probably be all right. So I'm going to eat these protein bars, just chill out, shower. I'm trying to shower before I edit the video. I have, because if I don't shower, I end up getting a pimple, man, and it's just like annoying. So I have like super sensitive skin, at least what I think. I gotta be like on top of it. 2 to 3 times a day, like washing it. Morning, midday, night, or morning, night. It doesn't really matter too much, but if I let it go too much, my face gets too oily and then I get a pimple. And then it just takes a while for it to go down. So that's that, and felt good today. Eat these bars and chill out, and then we'll see when I train back next. I felt pretty tired today and fatigued, so it's always one day off for me after I train. Maybe I'll take 2 days off. We'll see. I'll see how I feel. So until then, I'm just gonna chill.